Hi guys and welcome to Drive Spark. I'm Promeet and today we are here in Delhi to test drive the all-new Hyundai VERNA. Now this is the 6th generation Hyundai VERNA and a few things about this car. Now first of all, the prices for this car starts at 10.9 lakh rupees and goes all the way up to the 17.4 lakh rupees ex-showroom mark. However, this car that you see is the turbo petrol manual variant and this is priced at 16 lakh rupees ex-showroom. So the all-new Hyundai VERNA gets 11 variants, gets 9 color options and 2 engine options. So let's quickly start this video and I'll tell you everything you need to know about this all-new sedan. So now let's start talking about the front end of the car, and the very first thing that you'll notice is that the entire front end is new. You get new LEDs, new DRLs. So over here what you see is the DRL. Now usually the DRL is still here, but this has an infinity connecting DRL, so it connects all the way around. Looks really cool at night. Also over here you can see you get 2 grills. One is the grill that's present over here. Now this signifies that this is a turbo petrol variant. Obviously you have a badging behind, but from the front if you want to identify a turbo petrol variant, this is how you identify with this grill. Below you get a parametric grill that obviously looks very nice and accentuates the car's look. You get an aggressive front end, you get an ADAS module over there, and over there you get a camera. So in conjunction they will help you achieve the level 2 ADAS features. Plus the level 2 ADAS features are also available in the manual variant that we are driving today. And last but not least, if you see the hood has some subtle creases that make the car look much more aggressive from the front end. So now let's talk about the side profile of the car, and I'll give you one moment to just have a glance at the overall side profile of the all-new VERNA. So now starting off with the lines and creases, as you can notice that there are a ton of lines and creases that run all the way from the DRL to the tail light. It splits up in the midsection and you do not get any sort of chrome, but you can see you get this brushed aluminium finish on the window trim as well as on the door handles as well. You get body colored ORVM. You also get a blind spot monitoring. You do not get a 360-degree camera. You get an integrated indicator. So to further accentuate the car's look, you can see that this car gets these beautiful black alloy wheels. Now this is the manual variant, so you get a disc setup at the front. You get a drum setup at the back, but the DCT variant gets all 4 discs. You get all 4 red calipers as well on this. Obviously this has a drum, so you won't get red accents behind. And the alloy wheel design and the color also varies from variant to variant. Obviously this is all black and the regular one is silver, but you get alloy wheels, you get a 205 section tire, and also you get 170 mm of ground clearance. That is pretty decent for our Indian roads. And at the rear section you can see you get a shark fin antenna, you get a black roof, a sunroof, and this design that you see over here, it's like a fastback design. You can see that the roof directly merges with the boot, which gives a really sporty effect to the all-new VERNA. So now let's come on to the rear section of the VERNA, and over here you can see that again a lot has changed. First of all, you get this beautiful LED taillight section you can see over here, which has black and red accents. Looks really awesome. You get your VERNA badging, but over here what you see, this is the correcting taillight just like the DRLs. So at night when you hit the brake, this entire thing lights up and it looks really awesome, something really from the future. Also you get a 1.5 turbo badging over here. This obviously signifies that this is a turbo petrol variant. You get a Hyundai badging, a rear parking camera, and you can see you get these elements on the bumper as well. Now let's talk about the boot. So to open the boot you have a request sensor, just press it and the spring will obviously open the boot a little bit. It's a very light boot lid. You have around 530 liters of boot space. If you want further boot space, you can fold down the seats and you can get enough space for your luggage according to your need. And to close the boot with just one finger. And so guys, the VERNA has increased in width, in size, in length, in height, and the wheelbase has also increased by 70 mm. That creates a lot of room inside. So let's go check out the interiors. So now let's check out the rear section of the new VERNA. And yeah, so first of all you get an armrest, convenience. You have 2 cup holders over here, and since the wheelbase has increased, now you can see that I have a ton of space in the car. For reference, I'm 6'1" and this seat is adjusted according to my height, but still you can see I have plenty of knee room over here, leg room over here. There's good under thigh support and there is very good headroom as well. So overall, as far as space is concerned, I don't see that people should be complaining. I think 3 people of my height can sit comfortably, but there are only 2 headrests over here that are adjustable, and also you get a manual sunblind, you get 2 AC vents over here that does not have a fan speed, and you get 2 Type-C charging sockets, and you also get a slot over here where you can keep your phone while it's charging or you can keep your wallet. So overall, the rear section is really comfortable. I mean, the seats are really cushiony, and I don't think you will get tired by sitting behind on long drives. So now let's go check out the front end. So now let's move on to the front end, and when you sit over here, when you enter the cabin, you will see that a lot has changed. In fact, the entire cabin is completely new. And let's start off with the dashboard. So the dashboard is completely blacked out. As you can see, it's got hard plastic material, but it's really good quality material. You also get soft touch material over here and on the door pad as well. So when you're keeping your hand, it's really comfortable. Now you can see that since this is a turbo petrol variant, you get some red accents. You get red accents over here. You get red stitching on the seat, as you can see, on the gear lever, on the steering wheel, and in fact on the AC vents as well. And one more thing, on the turbo petrol variant, you get an all blacked out interior, which obviously signifies the sportiness of the car. But on the MPI variant, you get a dual tone finished interior that is finished in white, beige and black. So I mean, yeah, that's also pretty interesting, but the black looks really sporty. And now talking about the infotainment system and the instrument cluster, you have a 10.25 and a 10.25 screen over here. They are basically two screens, but they are placed in such a way that when you are looking at it while you're driving, so the steering wheel is covering the center part, so it just looks like a single screen, and that looks really nice. You have a lot of features available on this. You have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, but that is not wireless, it's wired. You also have 65 connected features, and you get a ton of information about the car. Plus you also get ambient lighting on this car, and you get 64 colors of ambient lighting, and the ambient lighting is placed slightly different. So you get one that runs across, but usually you see ambient lighting that runs across the door, but over here you see there are 4 slots on the corner, and over there is where the ambient light is placed, and it's very neatly integrated and looks really awesome. You have a Bose surround sound system where you get 7 speakers and 1 subwoofer. However, the bass is a little too high as per our liking, but anyway, you can adjust it according to your need. Coming below over here, you get your climate control. Now this is a single zone climate control, but there's a very cool feature about this. There's a button over here where if you press it, this entire climate control turns into an infotainment system control, where you can control your media, your volume, your files, everything. But again, if you want to go back to climate control, just press a button. So this is a very interesting feature that I'm seeing on this car. Plus you have an LCD screen that displays the AC temperature, the fan speed and the wind direction. Also, there's one more interesting fact, that usually all cars have automatic climate control, but this also gets automatic climate control, but it gets 3 modes in automatic climate control. You have low, you have medium and you have high, which is a very good feature. Now talking about modes, I'll just explain you. So this car also gets 3 driving modes, and you have the driving mode button over here. So you have Eco, Normal and Sport. Right beside your driving mode button, you have your parking camera button, and just besides that you have your parking sensor. This is the gear lever. Obviously you have, again I showed you, you have red stitching over here. You have some storage space. Now the storage space is, you get 2 bottle holders on each front door. That is a half liter and a 1 liter. You get 2 cup holders over here, and you can see you get a cubby hole where you can, let me show you. So you have, like, this is not even a half a liter bottle, but this completely goes in, so that means a half liter bottle will fit in easily in that. It also gets an armrest that is adjustable, so you can adjust it according to how you want to place it. Now coming to this steering wheel. Now the steering wheel is a 2-spoke steering wheel, and it's not a flat bottom, but as I mentioned, you get red stitching all over it. It's got a brilliant grip to it, and it can also be adjusted for tilt and telescopic. Now that is a very good feature, because this feature helps the driver to get the exact right driving position. And talking about the instrument cluster over here, again it's a 10.25 inch instrument cluster, fully digital. You get a ton of information about the car, and once you select your drive mode, the color of the infotainment system, basically the theme of the infotainment system, changes according to your driving mode. So if you're on sport, it will be red. If you're on eco, it will be slightly greenish, and if you're on normal, it will be blue in color. And you also have the steering mounted controls. Now there's one thing that I feel that should have been slightly different, is that the steering mounted controls is placed exactly horizontal. So when the steering is upside down, obviously you have the airbag sign going upside down, but since the Hyundai logo is such that if you see it from top or bottom, it feels the same. So the steering mounted controls, if you're parked somewhere, it will be very difficult for you to just judge immediately whether the steering is rotated left or to the right, because I mean this is in a very straight pattern, so it is slightly confusing. Overall, it's very easy to use, and you can control everything from the steering mounted controls, from your infotainment system to your cluster and everything. So now with the driving seat of the all-new Verna, and before explaining the car to you, let me give you a quick brief of the engine. There are two engine options, both are petrol. One is a naturally aspirated 1.5, one is a turbocharged petrol, that is a 1.5 again. So what we are driving today is the turbocharged 1.5 litre engine, and this produces 160 bhp of power and 253 Nm of peak torque. Now this comes mated to either a 6-speed manual or a 7-speed DCT. We are driving the DCT. We've already driven the manual. Manual is excellent. Obviously, the person who is an enthusiast and who loves a manual car will definitely go try that out. But on the contrary, this gearbox that is there, it's a dual clutch transmission, and this is just awesome. The shifts are so quick, downshifts are quick, there is no lag between the shifts, and there is very minimum amount of lag in the turbo as well. So the other engine is a 1.5 litre, that's a naturally aspirated one, and that produces 115 PS of power and 144 Nm of peak torque. So that engine comes mated to either a 6-speed manual or an IVT gearbox, and that is also really good. We could not drive that car for a very long time, so we will be telling you about those gearbox and that engine sometime later in another video. So coming back to this car, power wise, obviously it's a segment leading, it's 160 bhp. The other cars in the segment are producing around 150 bhp, so that's 10 bhp more. And what that means is that this car is slightly quicker. So 0 to 100 is around 8.2 seconds or 8.3 seconds, and triple digit speeds come out like within no time. And right now we are doing a 70. I'm at 5th gear. I'll just floor it once, and we are on sport modes. Again, this gets 3 modes. Actually, the driving modes are standard across. So you get 3 modes as standard across all variants. That is eco, normal and sport. So right now we are in sport, and eco is for maximum fuel efficiency. The throttle response will be slightly laggy. Normal will be okay, your daily city driving, and when you want to like just go around and have some fun, you can put it on sports. And once you're on sports, right now I'm doing 65. I'm at 5th gear, and when I floor it, it just shifts down to 3rd, and we've hit 100, and 120 comes in within no time. So the acceleration is linear when you floor it, but the mid-range and the top end is really good. Since the acceleration is linear at the start, you won't get that sudden kickback feel, but after a couple of seconds, obviously it will happen, because that's the time the boost kicks in and the car just pulls ahead. This gearbox, again, as I explained, is one of the best gearbox. The DCT, the dual clutch transmission. The paddle shifters are also there if you don't want to, if you want to just go out and have some fun around corners. I think these paddle shifters will help. Again, it's a DCT gearbox, so the shifts are really quick. Downshifts are also really quick. So now coming to the suspension. So the suspension is on the softer side, and what that does, it gives you a very comfortable ride. But on high speeds, we could feel that the car is slightly bumpy, especially when there is an undulation on the road. It definitely, it feels like. So I mean, you can go fast, but if you are cornering the car, then you will have some amount of body roll, because the suspension is not that stiff. Maybe sometime in the future, if Hyundai comes up with the Verna N line, then we can expect like a stiffer suspension setup on that. But this car, due to the comfort, keeping the comfort in mind, they had to tune it like this. But none of that, the suspension takes all the potholes, all the broken roads that the city has to, or the highway has to throw at you. Overall, the suspension does a very good job. So now coming to the steering wheel. So the steering wheel is neither on the lighter side nor it's very heavy. It's somewhere in between, and I think that's a perfect balance, because sometimes people feel that the steering wheel should be very light. That is helpful. Obviously, it helps you in maneuvering through the city very nicely, but on high speeds, a slightly heavy steering wheel is much recommended, because a light steering wheel could lead to some disaster at very high speeds if you're like over speeding or doing like way over triple digit speeds. And the feedback from the steering wheel is also really nice. I mean, it just shifts lane in a jiffy. You can just like, if I'm on a lane and if no one is coming, I just indicate, and if I want to shift, like the slightest of the movement on the steering wheel, you can feel it. And yeah, I mean, the grip also is really nice. The 10 and 2 o'clock grip, it's a broad steering wheel, and overall, I mean, the steering dynamics, I really liked it. So now coming to the seat and the comfort. So as I mentioned that the suspension is on the softer side. So couple that with these seats. Now these seats are really comfortable. They have a lot of cushioning. They have good under thigh support, good side bowstrings, good lumbar support also, and they are really cushiony. So what that does is couple that to the suspension and the tires and everything, and you get a fantastic comfortable ride. Now the seats are obviously, you have ventilated features for the seats, you have heated and cooled seats with three levels of settings. So as far as the safety is concerned, now the all new Verna is loaded with safety features. There are around 65 safety features, and in that 30 safety features are standard across variants. That includes 6 airbags, and that is a really good thing. So the new Hyundai Verna is actually, it's a stunning looking car. It's got a refreshed interior, exterior, looks really fantastic, sporty, is feature loaded, has got level 2 ADAS features, got a turbo petrol engine, is fastest in its segment. So yeah, if you're looking for a car that's under 20 lakh rupees and that's fast, that has feature loaded and is really comfortable, you should definitely go check out the all new Verna. So yeah guys, this was the all new Hyundai Verna, and I hope you liked this video. If you have anything that you have to ask about this car, please mention down in the comment section and we will get back to you on that. Until then, if you have liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, share and subscribe to all our social media channels. I'm Promeet signing out. See you next time. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, be safe and drive safe.